Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forlight podcast, a weekly show about gaming, gaming news, and all things entertainment related. I'm your host for this evening, David, alongside my co-hosts.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Leighton.
And I'm Aiden.
So, guys, today we're going to be chatting about a specific little game today. And, I figured we could do some updates really quick before we talk about this. Just, as always, you can find us on wherever you listen to podcasts, such as iTunes, Apple Music, all sorts of stuff. You can also just go search us out visually on YouTube whenever you guys want. And we have started carrying our microphones in our hand, so if this improves the quality of the audio at all, let us know. Say hi to us on Twitch when we go live, which we go live to stream different games, the podcast, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, come say hi. But yeah, what's this game we're talking about, Ethan?
Well,
hey man, he called on me.
All right. No, I was gonna say like a little bit of updates first.
Me.
Updates first before we get into the content.
Okay, fine.
What update? What?
Like what's going on with us? What have you been playing recently, David?
What have I been playing?
Clinicals. Gotcha.
Nursing Simulator.
NursingSimulator.com.
I mean, I haven't
Papa's Nurseria.
Yeah, gotten around to playing a whole ton of games. I've been playing Samarost a little bit, which is an indie game that came out, and I believe 2018. Is the third game released. It's a very small indie game. I've been playing Stillness of the Wind. It's a very nihilistic game that's really cool, really neat to see. And I've been chilling and playing the regulars, such as I've been hopping on Terraria when I can and Hollow Knight when I can, just for fun. But yeah,
funsies. Ethan, what have you been playing recently?
Fortnite OG.
Also, by the way,
back.
He's doing this update because he wants to talk about...
Yeah, because there's one specific I'm talking about. Let's talk about Fortnite OG first. Let's talk about Fortnite.
Okay.
OG?
Yeah, they brought it back.
They brought back the original.
There was a time machine, and now we are in the 5th season of Chapter 1. So OG map, Loot Lake, fucking Tilted Towers. It's crazy.
Yeah, OG.
Holy fuck, I gotta get this back. We have to play. Oh my god.
It's
new
graphics.
New graphics, old
guns.
What? I have it downloaded.
The Scar is back. The LMG is back.
That's crazy. What?
I might start strictly playing Zero Build, though, because it is, the amount of sweaty, it's talked about, but, there are kids, there's a format of game, it's boxing, where you basically make a box and you just start editing and changing that box and shooting through it before your opponent can shoot. And it's really fucking stupid. It's sweaty.
I feel like that's been around ever since people got good at it.
I know, but it's just common. It wasn't as common. You'd have maybe a couple sweaty players who do that, but it's now every
it's the new
person you come
90s.
across. But it also it's nicer to you can note visually see somebody who's now from the first chapters and stuff. So it's fun. It's fun.
No, it sounds really fun.
It's
honestly, I definitely want to try it again because I personally, and y'all can call me a noob, but I absolutely prefer the no build. I just think it requires more skill. It feels almost you have to. It takes a lot of skill.
It requires a very different skill set.
It feels more like a shooter rather than a whatever the fuck build that's going on right now.
I think Aiden kind of keyed it. Is it's a different skill set, but
Absolutely.
I do feel smarter while playing. What's it called? No build.
No build is a true
you have
VR.
you have to visually know when there's okay, there's a tree here, there's an open space here. I need to make it across here and not get shot. And you have to be constantly aware of that and whether or not the tree you're behind is going to get broken or something like that.
It takes a lot. I really feel that PUBG would have been a better game if it were a little quicker. And I think that's the fault of games like PUBG. Yeah, too big. I think that's the fault of games like PUBG, COD,
PUBG was
Warzone.
incredible.
What do you mean by quicker?
I think it needs to
pace.
I think the pace is what really separates.
Shut the motherfucker, bro.
Why do you think I like the game I want to talk about so much?
Bro's literally
it's so good.
I have to get it. I have to get it. I know I do.
It is okay.
It is.
If
he's playing on PC, I'm playing.
What
on
have
PC.
you been playing?
Okay.
What have you been playing recently?
Well, it's just this little
Please
game.
take it from him.
Just this little
Don't
game.
you dare fucking take it from me.
He was full on about to, too.
I'll say it. The game I've been playing recently, I played till 5 a.m. last night because I was enjoying myself so much. It's called The Finals. Up and coming, new first-person shooter.
Good.
It has elements of Call of Duty. It has elements of CS:GO, almost like Rainbow, all of them kind of mixed together with like a good movement system, very fluid movement system. I play the light character, so that's why there's 3 different. It's called the finals. The objective of the game is to. You're basically in like a VR setting. You're just like your character is just a person who's playing VR, like a VR game, and you're running around. And the idea is you're facing off against other teams of 3, and you're trying to grab a cash out box, like a box full of money, and cash it out and like defend that area while other teams try to steal that from you.
It kind of sounds like there is like a Warzone type thing where it's all about collecting money and like defending your money and stuff like that. It sounds kind of similar.
It is, I would say it has elements of that too.
Like the bank out mode where you
I described
like have coins
it,
and stuff.
Yeah, that would be the bank out mode.
I described it to Emmy as
Kakaze.
Yeah, I described it to Emmy Kakaze as COD if it had the pace of an arcade shooter.
Oh my god, it is so.
That's fair, yeah.
As you might know if you've watched the podcast for a while or listened to us for a while, I'm the kind of guy, I'm like a competitive gamer. Ethan's a competitive kind of gamer as well, but I'm a different kind of competitive in that I like really challenge myself. Ethan's more like, I want to get all the achievements. I'm competitive in the sense of like how would you say you're competitive? Like
achievement hunting.
Yeah, like achievement hunting. I'm more of the
something that doesn't require an enemy or a real life person to get whatever I need.
You know, I'm honestly so scared to touch this game because I think I'm going to like it, and that's the problem. Because right now is not a time for me to be playing a shit ton of video games. It's not. I have barely had time to read. I have read probably 30 pages in the past like month, and that's absurd.
So what you should do, download the finals, right?
And stop reading.
Dude,
30
so
pages in a month, that doesn't give a lot of free time.
It's honestly, I think what makes this game, and we'll probably talk about it more, obviously, is like, one, the class system, like, the light, medium, and heavy characters all have their different their sets. It's Overwatchy, like the whole you have a character and it has its different quirks and stuff.
Well, there's instead of Overwatch or like any sort of operative game,
super condensed.
Yeah, it's super. There's 3 classes. There's a light, a heavy, and a medium, and they all have their own like little subways of doing things.
But they all work fundamentally the same. Like, like across like 2 different heavies or 2 different mediums.
Yeah, fundamentally, like a heavy and 2 different heavies can work similarly, like have different guns or like act differently, but they have like the same movement. They have the same health. Like, the whole idea is that a light has less health, but it's really fast. And medium is like the balance between the 2, and then the heavy is the lot of health, really slow. And the heavy is like defense.
It's
light is like
really
a shock
slow.
trooper, and then medium is like health and support. I have been obsessed with this game. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And also, so has the world. The finals has blown up like crazy. Like in the past couple of like
because it's good.
Because it's an open beta right now. The open beta closes.
Splitgate though.
The open. What do you mean?
Splitgate got super
Splitgate?
popular.
I hope it doesn't Splitgate, dude.
Splitgate was a
don't
Halo
remember Splitgate.
copy.
Also,
and
Splitgate went hard. It was so fun.
so much fun.
Splitgate
super
was
very popular and then just died.
Halo, if you mixed in Portal, it literally was like blew up overnight and then disappeared just as fast.
I'm hoping the finals doesn't do the same thing because I really enjoy this kind of thing. This kind of game is like my forte. This is what I like doing with my free time. But I'm just gonna say a couple more words. Like, did you know that the voiceovers they use are AI generated voiceovers?
No fucking
Yeah.
shot. That's insane.
Those are AI generated.
Wait, the announcers?
They're getting backlash for it. I'm looking at some of the.
Why are they getting backlash for it? They're fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah, no. So
That's why they know what you're
No, I
doing.
know.
they're AI generated voiceovers, but they have like some obviously voice actor input to like kind of like give it like some baseline and whatnot.
No.
And also Embark has released a thing saying Embark, the company who published and released the game, has released a thing saying that like that's not the end goal. Like they want to have voice actors and whatnot. It was just kind of a starting goal.
No, but like,
and this is just an open beta. Like
with the,
gotta
with
remember
the
that.
like without the like fucking over the voice actors thing.
the fact that they are AI is really, really fucking cool because that explains it. Because I did something in the game, like bounced off something and died, and the announcers made a comment off of it. Because the whole point is that you're on like a game show, a VR battle royale game show with 3 teams of 3 for the normal game mode that we play.
Yeah.
But and the announcers are like announcing over it, like, "Oh, blue team has just been team wiped. Sorry to say that," or like something like that. And they'll make comments on the things you do if you like die in a bad way. And I did something. I can't remember what I did, but I think I died in like a specific way, and the announcer made like a very specific comment about it.
It does make sense because
it makes
it generated it.
I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't just read it. If it wasn't pointed out to me, I would not have noticed that it was AI generated. That's the thing I thought was really cool.
I noticed it, and I thought it was really weird how they knew that specific situation would happen. And now that it's AI, I know that it's AI generated. It makes so much more sense.
No, I don't think that's what they're... I don't think it's like they're actively creating new voice lines when you play the game. I think what they have is a set list of voice lines and are having AI voices voice those lines.
It was just...
I don't think
and they like probably choose it based off the circumstance, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just weird because I did something like not like normal.
So I think it's just like regular voice lines, except for instead of having a human voiceover, they're having an AI voice it.
I don't know,
and that's a pretty big. What?
I'm reading. I'm gonna dive more into this, and we'll go into a conversation about the finals at a later date, and more about like multiplayer gaming and stuff. It might be. You might be wrong on that assumption because what I'm reading is that it's like actually producing lines in hours.
That's why I got so weirded out because it was so specific to what I just
It's like
did.
it's actually
weird.
The AI is actually creating lines, but we'll go into more on that another day.
Though. But also, we'll like right before we jump into Alan Wake. I don't know. Did you guys ever play a game called The Darwin Project?
No.
So it does remind me. Some people may know about it.
I do remember this.
It was a game showy kind of thing. You're basically in this arena, this like hexagon arena, and you only have an axe, and it's like a survival-esque battle royale.
Oh.
And there's somebody who plays the role of a game show host, and that person can talk and do all this stuff. And it does remind me of the finals of like, it was very like quippy and stuff like that. But like that game like died so quickly, and it was a very good idea, but it was definitely there was a sharp learning curve.
It was a PS4 game. Wow, that's wild. I've never seen this.
81% overall, very positive reviews. Mm-hmm. You want to know? So 18,507 reviews overall. Want to know how many have been in the recent category in the last 30 days? That's what the recent category is. 33. 33 reviews in the last 30 days.
It died.
Yeah, it did die. But like there was like sections where like because it was hexagon shaped, like you'd go into a new hexagon. It was very Hunger Gamesy. Like it felt like you were in Hunger Games. They would go like Sector 13, event live, and a fucking like nuke would drop in the middle of the sector.
So dude, it's fucking survival games on Mindplex.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was very fun.
Yeah. Dude, fucking Mindplex is it's gone.
It's gone. I know it's
what
gone.
happened?
So is the
Wait,
Hive.
what?
Mindplex is gone. The Hive is gone.
What?
Why?
They both shut down.
Huh?
You didn't know this? This is like 2 years ago.
Yeah. A little nerdy news. A little late nerdy news for Leighton.
Wait, what
I didn't
do you
know
mean?
this.
Mindplex and the Hive both had to shut down.
Why?
Yeah,
It's
5 weeks
Hive-
ago.
Because of
They got
funding.
discontinued.
Is Hypixel still up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
Hypixel's
only one.
Only one
Whew.
of like
It's the only
those
one of the big
ones.
three.
That's crazy because I love Mindplex.
It's gone.
Damn.
Sucks.
That's crazy.
Mindplex went first. The Hive went second.
Mojang not doing anything with their billions.
No, literally.
Just like help them.
Constantly.
Literally everything on Mindplex and the Hive and fucking
They made
Hypixel.
their player
it was
base.
all plugins.
No, I think
all
the Hive
community-made plugins.
The Hive is still active.
No, it's not.
I just looked it up.
I have the Hive. They
No, it's
said they
not.
were closing their fucking doors.
Their doors. Their virtual doors. Somebody walked into the game and closed their doors.
That's what I would do. You wouldn't do that. But anyway, so the finals. It's been really blowing up. A lot of people are really like hype about this. It's very fast paced, very very like competitive. And if that's your kind of thing, please check it out. In fact, if it's not, just check it out because there's different ways of playing. It's really fun. I've been really enjoying it. A lot of our friends have been getting into it. So the open beta ends tomorrow, though, so we'll have to wait to see a release on consoles because they released it to consoles. It was originally a closed beta for PC only, and they made it an open beta for cross-platform PC and consoles, and it went nuts.
I would love to play tonight, but would you guys want to play like midday tomorrow?
It closes tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Oh, so we can't play it tomorrow.
Yeah, we won't be able to play the open beta tomorrow.
Well,
it closes.
fuck me.
Like,
I mean, I can't.
The actual
We
game
can
is
play-
going to come out eventually. The beta's looking pretty good.
Until 2.
Ugh.
That's so unfortunate.
I don't know. I don't know when the game actually comes out. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a full release date yet. But the fact that the beta did so well is it's telling me that they're probably gonna really hype up. They're gonna kickstart development on this. Or I mean, they have, but like more so than they already have. They're gonna try to release this as soon as possible.
Yeah, I hope so. Will it be free? Do you think?
I have no idea. Honestly, I was looking at some articles prior to this, but I was really more focused on our actual topic.
Well, I wanted to bring up something really quick.
No, go ahead.
We were talking about the Hive thing. Some places say that the Hive is shut down on in 2021, but I'm looking at the Hive page and it's actively putting out
updates.
It's because they released a different update called the Hive Arcade. I think they might have come back, but they did close down completely, had a whole send off thing and everything. I'm checking. I'm actually going to go on Minecraft real quick and check the server because it did 100% shut down. I was there for it.
That's crazy.
It shut down. It may have come back.
He watched them close the door.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I just logged on one day and they were like,
They were like,
So-
watch the.
Guys, getting into our main topic of today, 31 minutes into the video, I'm going to be talking about the game, the myth, the legend, Alan Wake 2, an extremely hyped sequel to the original Alan Wake game, and it was released, October 27th?
Yep.
Yeah.
put it on Game Pass.
Right now, it released literally 8 days ago as the filming of this video, so very brand new. But we wanted to chat about it and see, what we're all thinking about, because it's a pretty thrilling sequel. It very similar to the first game in a lot of regards, but very different in some notable ways as well, especially in the ways you use your flashlight. It has a recording type segment type thing, and it continually kind of has these haunting elements that gave me the same vibe as kind of an Outlast type thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 is more of a survival horror game, whereas Alan Wake was more of an action adventure game with horror.
Yeah, it was
themes.
more detective-y.
Yeah.
Now it's still detective-y. You're still you're kind of investigating.
One of the characters is a detective.
Yeah.
She's an FBI agent. Yes.
One of the ones.
What's her name?
When I hear
Saga something.
Yeah,
Saga Anderson.
She's
Saga,
got
yeah.
I think one of her powers is that she can solve any case. That's the whole premise. And then you obviously have Alan, who is a writer, and he's changing the story constantly, which is so cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Alan,
well, because you
premise.
can access the whole gameplay thing around Saga is you can pause it to go into your mind palace.
Right.
It
to,
really
think through the thing.
It really reminds me of the Sherlock Holmes stuff where have you seen the Sherlock movie where he kind of goes into his mind and he's there thinking, or if you've ever seen Dreamcatcher, which is it was an adaptation of the book by Stephen King, and it had people who it had a couple of famous people in there. I think one of them was the redheaded guy who plays Captain Winters in Band of Brothers. I don't remember his name, but in that he goes into his mind. He's fighting the alien in his brain, in his archives of information, and
that would be cool though, because bouncing. Sorry, I don't know if you had anything else, but same as David mentioned, the mindscape, the ability to basically it's supposed to be a safety thing. It's supposed to, you go back and you kind of go over your notes or whatever, or you go over, as Alan, you go over the different the story beats that you might have, and that's where you can change certain sections of the game. Like I mentioned to you when we were at lunch, this is not a real thing, I just made it up, but the story beat, cultists attacked the train station or something like that, and you can add that portion to like the regular train station portion, and then basically it changes the story. You go back to that section and cultists have now attacked that section. Previously you walked through and it was perfectly fine.
Dude.
And so it's like a whole manipulation thing. And I think I'd like to see, I'm pretty sure you're safe in that area the entire game, but it'd be cool to be like attacked and then immediately that safety, that feeling of like comfort is taken away.
Almost like a false sense of security. That would be really cool.
It'd be really cool.
I don't think they implement that in this game, but yeah, there's a lot to do with like the story writing having an effect on like reality, and then there's also a lot of time stuff I was noticing that was going on that if you play the game you'll like find out more about. But yeah, what do we think about this?
I'm excited.
I
very, very
really
excited.
now want to play the original Alan Wake.
It's funny that this was the conversation it's funny we were talking about games like this earlier, because I originally played Quantum Break like when my family first got an Xbox. I got Quantum Break with it, which by the way is one of my favorite games of all time. It has like certain scenes that are like actually like played out live action with real actors, and it was something different that I was like I've never seen this before. This is really cool for a video game, and I really enjoyed Quantum Break, and it was just an amazing premise. But in the game box for Quantum Break had a code for Alan Wake, and I'm really sad that I never used that code. But it's funny. It's funny that
you think
game.
If you still have it, do you think it probably still work?
I don't have that disc anywhere. I've looked for it. I don't know where the box is.
Tisk.
What do you mean tisk?
No, not tisk. Discs.
I know. I love discs.
The age of discs is kind of... Alan Wake 2 doesn't have a disc. I don't know if you guys know that. It doesn't have a physical copy.
I miss physical copies, because physical copies mean when my data fucking blows up on my Xbox, I can go back and be like, okay, here's all my shit I actually have.
Well, even nowadays, if you have discs, it's all saved on your Xbox anyways. All the saved data.
But like, it's fucking
It's also like
fire.
having the copy of like being able to visually see is
yeah,
cool.
dude.
Being able to have a shelf of discs, like
that's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
So cool. It's like collecting books. It's like collecting stories.
Discs don't even hold the game data anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like, look at Red Dead.
What do?
They download it. You have Demon Slayer. When you put Demon Slayer in, it asks you to download Demon Slayer.
Broken. What a good game.
I also know that like a lot of major retailers like GameStop and stuff like that, they're not going to be like selling discs in the coming years. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be like codes, yeah.
We should have let GameStop die when it was supposed to.
Hey, bro, it's the
no, but that's seriously
market.
that's the I don't know what the fuck are they gonna do.
Think of all those poor Wall Street guys who
who would go. Why would you go?
We could have saved them.
Stop to get a game other than like sell maybe, but even selling.
I
sell a $60 game. And
motherfucker, I sold probably over $2,000 worth of games for $500 and then bought a PS4 with it.
That is something I didn't know, but that's cool.
Yeah, at home we have a PS4.
I honestly think GameStop is going to be out of business soon.
It will. They will.
Like, I mean, it's not going to be just GameStop either. What's other like video game sellers that you can think of?
I mean,
like Best Buy.
Best Buy is a
there's no video game sellers.
Best Buy won't go out.
No, they won't go out of business. But like, are they going to stop selling games? Like, probably physical games. They're probably going to stop.
That's something we should probably look into that. Actually,
we are in a fucking like golden silicon shortage. So
the hoobity woody.
That's true.
It's like game discs and game chips require those like components.
No, not discs.
Not discs, but the Nintendo chips do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. But what are we guys thinking about Alan Wake, guys?
Yeah, going back.
Alan Wake 2.
Time to get it in a video game existential crisis.
Truthfully, I kind of want to talk about, is it going to be Game of the Year? Contender.
No.
I want to start not
contender.
with
You said you specified contender.
I don't. Is it a Game of the Year contender?
Let's see. How many titles do they normally pick for Game of the Year?
6.
They
had
picked
6 last year.
For the category. It's always 6.
Yeah, I think it's
6.
It's
always 6. Okay.
Yeah, 6.
What games have we seen this year come out? Tears of the Kingdom.
We know.
Tears of the Kingdom is a obvious.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Baldur's Gate.
Spider-Man.
Baldur's Gate. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Survivor.
That's 3. I don't think Survivor will be there.
Survivor's probably not going to be there. Maybe it'll be on like one of the other categories. I don't think it's going to be on top.
The reason why I think Alan Wake...
Starfield?
I don't even think.
I don't think
Starfield.
Starfield.
I think it might be
Starfield. I have not seen anything about Starfield post the couple of weeks past its release.
Right.
What about Starfield?
Armored Core was very niche, and that's what sucks about it, is the community that played the previous Armored Cores was very small. Therefore, when the game came out, though it was very, very cool, boom. Like, I don't see Armored Core content
I have
anymore.
stopped playing Armored Core. I need to play it again.
Now that's one. Lies of P, I really, really, really hope
I don't think it will.
I don't think it's going to be up there.
Definitely an indie.
I don't think it will.
Definitely an indie.
I don't think
it's going to win indie.
Studio 8 isn't an indie company.
Neowitz is. Studio 8 and Neowitz, they're indie companies.
Guys, we're not even talking about One Piece Odyssey. No, I'm sorry.
One Piece Odyssey was last year, wasn't it? I think so.
It says 2023.
Oh my god, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy.
Dude,
too many fucking games.
That
was this year?
Yeah, no, One Piece Odyssey was this year. What?
January
13th.
First thing released this year.
Now that I think about it, because we were talking about, or
Hi-Fi Rush
I
came
mentioned
out.
the guys of like what I wanted
I know
the top 6 to be, like what I wanted them to talk about, and I genuinely think this is gonna be a hard discussion.
Mario Bros. Wonder might be up there.
Dude, actually,
Wonder,
I have been seeing a lot of shit.
No, it's
like
it's
a
very
dragon.
good game.
I want it so bad, but I don't have the money for it.
Sons of the
Maybe
Forest
I'll
came
ask
out
for
this
it
year.
for my birthday or something.
I forgot Sons of the Forest came out.
I think Alan Wake will, because like if you think of Plague Tale Requiem last year.
Yeah.
Plague Tale Requiem was a very, very popular game, but you guys didn't ingest any of that content, and so that's why you didn't.
Guys, you're not even talking about Peppa Pig World Adventures that came out March 17th.
And Alan Wake did the new things that Plague Tale did. That's why I think it's going to be.
Is very, very niche though.
Yeah, I mean. Well, maybe not to you, but like I had never
heard of Alan Wake until Alan Wake 2 came out.
I've heard of Alan Wake. I'm not like that, but like
David's like, okay, let's step back. Let's take a couple steps back here.
I mean, I've heard of Alan Wake, but like I've never heard. Like no one in my friend groups have ever played it. No one on
Jedi Survivor came out April 28th.
I mean,
yeah. I think.
That's what that Survivor. That's what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Well, what do we think?
I think of the Forest might be on there somewhere, but not on the game.
I think it will. What do you guys think?
It's gonna be on there. It's not gonna be on Game of the Year. It's gonna be somewhere.
I think Alan Wake will be in there somewhere.
I think it's gonna be in the I don't think it's gonna be in the Game of the Year contenders.
Quote this right here: I will be right, and all of the guys will be wrong, and then yeah.
That doesn't give you any extra points. That doesn't give you any extra points.
But like,
I never cast my vote. Excuse you.
Okay, what do you want to say then?
I think Alan Wake is going to get either the Plague Trail or Stray treatment and get shoved in there, but not go anywhere.
So yes or no, Aiden Kane?
Is it going to be in the top 6?
Is it going to be in the top 6?
I don't think so.
Or in the 6?
With everything that's coming out, there's a chance. I'm going to give a tentative no, though.
I'm going to say no. I don't think
yes.
I don't think it's coming.
I'm also saying no.
I don't think it's going to be in the Game of the Year contenders.
Are we doing the same thing as last year? Magic
Hermes Return to Dreamland was this year.
Yeah, I have that.
What is this year? It's
Kirby Return.
Redfall, yes. Yeah.
Also,
Redfall's
first of all,
Game of the Year.
Dreamland is not getting anywhere near Game of the Year.
I don't think so either.
No, it's not even.
Because it's a remake, isn't it?
Yes, of the Wii game.
Well, speaking of which.
Well, I actually want to. Yes, we'll hop on to the remake conversation really quick. But I want to say something that I think is going to be controversial. I think it's going to be hard pressed to beat Dave the Diver for Indie of the Year. I think you're going to be hard pressed.
I don't disagree with that.
I really, really hope Lies of P wins something because I think it really deserves it. It won't. But dude, you haven't even played the fucking game. It's so good, dude. The end cutscene was enough to legitimately sell me that entire game. The literal, like, after the credits roll, the cutscene that happens after was enough to sell me for any future game.
Bro gave it an 8.5 and then beat the game, and it literally jumped to full point for him.
No, it jumped to 9.5.
Who?
I so much. You were the worst.
You tickle me, motherfucker. But anyway, Alan Wake, I don't think it's going to be on there. I think it's an interesting game. People, you should check it out. I think it's I think it's
cool.
I think it's a cool concept. I think it's an interesting game. If you like horror games, for single player games, please.
Yeah, Alan Wake is a sequel, not a remake though. But like,
what about remake?
We should go around. Let's go around again. I want to start with Ethan this time. What do we think? Well, a remake is a graphic overhaul.
He's got it.
Sorry, a remaster is a graphic overhaul.
Yeah, I was like...
A remake is when they're changing some part in the gameplay or the code to make the game feel better, run better, do something significant to the game.
Halo 2 and the Master Chief Collection is a remake because they added all of the fully animated cutscenes.
Yeah.
Interesting, Ethan.
So then my answer gets a little bit more complicated because there are differences between something like Halo 2 and Dead Space. The Dead Space remake was a complete... They basically removed the game and restarted. There was no...
That's the typical way of viewing a remake, but he's technically correct that is a remake.
I would argue Halo 2 would not even get close to fucking Game of the Year if that was the case. So the remake aspect of that was what that was.
What's the underlying question here? What is it we're trying to say? We're trying to say, should remakes of games, not remasters, should remakes be Game of the Year contenders? For example, the reason we bring this up is because of Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
And also
Dead Space.
Dead Space for sure, definitely a hugely popular game. But I want to hear your guys' opinions because I think mine are gonna be swayed.
I think it really depends, but honestly, I don't think it will ever happen. It has to be a very shit year for games for a remake to win, which is it's gonna sound.
Well, do you think a remake should deserve to win?
No.
Resident Evil 4
the answer is no.
Remakes.
Why?
Because Resident Evil
Resident Evil 4.
Final Fantasy 7. Oh. Whoa.
Resident Evil 7
was a very, very interesting remake. Can you not do that? Thank you. It changed complete aspects of Cloud's character. It changed major portions of the game. The bad guy exists in that game. What's his name?
That's crazy.
Fucking
there's an
yeah. He did in the
antagonist.
original game. He doesn't appear. He's talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But in the remake, he's a major player throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Which is very, very, very important because that's something that would change the entire aspects of how you look at that.
I forgot Stray made it on the Game of the Year last year.
In terms of Final Fantasy 7,
maybe Alan Wake will make it onto the top 6.
Hey guys, I think
Horizon Forbidden West
compare
made it on last
Stray
year.
and Alan Wake 2,
No,
motherfucker.
okay. Horizon Forbidden West and Xenoblade 3 got on Game of the Year last year.
I mean, let's keep it real. We've been eating good this year.
Because in terms of Dead Space, I've been actually playing it. Beyond my personal opinions, it is very, very fun and it looks good. It's also completely it is Dead Space, but there's a lot of differences in terms of the original game. In general, I think my overall answer is no. I don't. Remasters is a fucking complete no. I don't think
I
Skyward
agree.
Sword HD does not deserve to beat Elden Ring. I'm sorry. That's just not how it goes.
There's very few games that deserve to be Elden Ring.
But in any term, we have to have what I said. 2020, not to put any of these games down. I'm sort of putting them down because they're not really my cup of tea. But It Takes Two, I'm not putting It Takes Two in the highlight of
2021.
Is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's still there.
No, watch it. But
It Takes Two was the one before Elden Ring.
Am I? Hold on.
I think.
Sorry,
I'm fairly
I just
certain.
let me.
Anyway, so your answer for remakes being up there?
Yeah, no, I think. I hope people get my point. Is something. What?
2021.
So what was Final Fantasy VII in? Why am I blanking?
2020 was The Last of Us Part 2.
That one Game of the Year.
Well,
In 2020.
Part 2 was pretty good. Anyways, that's beyond. That's
19
was pretty good. Is my exact thought about that. But anyway,
shut your mouth. Anyways, Final Fantasy VII is something where I think it definitely did have a lot of things that were different and interesting and made it something that could be talked about. I don't think it deserves to win, though, because when you come from a company that is making a new game, they are starting from the ground up, somebody who is, I can take the bones and I can build off the bones, and and I'm putting it back up.
Certain remakes are ground up.
Right, but also you have like the sort of like if the developers
you have
are
a
the same-
guideline.
yeah, you have like the kind of I'm gonna continue through this versus somebody like it comes into question of like Redfall and stuff like that. If Redfall were to make a remake, do they deserve to be talked about because they had such a shitty first release? Like, do we deserve to give them a second
Redfall
chance?
itself,
We've
even
had an
at its
episode about
best,
this. You should go back and watch it.
even at its best, Redfall is just a copy of Left 4 Dead.
Redfall had a lot of things that it could have done well.
But that's not the point of what he's saying either.
It would have been mid.
There's a difference. If there's a difference between if someone made a Left 4 Dead remake versus Redfall. If Redfall
You mean
was
Back
good.
4 Blood?
That's not a remake of it's. I mean, when it says Left 4 Dead 2 remake, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between that where people have an exact well, they have a guideline and they have a story they can follow. They can add and change bits to the story and add different pieces to the story. But they have a general story. They have a general go along.
Now,
We should play modded Left 4 Dead
exactly.
too.
I think that's exactly. I think that pretty much sums up my point. Is I don't think a company that does a remake, I don't think that game should have the same weight as a game that has a totally new story, a completely new thought out, like understanding, like a new direction, a new like whatever. Like Elden Ring was a new story. Yeah, sure, it had the Souls-like approach, but it was a new story. It was a new delve into the whole idea, or like the whole Elden Ring universe, and it made a universe out. Right. Like it took the Dark Souls stuff and made a universe, and that to me deserves something like Game of the Year. And a remake of Final Fantasy VII where they add Sephiroth as a person in the game, or they add like different pieces to it, like Dead Space where they add different pieces to it and new sections and whatnot. That is not the same as making a new story. And the making a new story is what I think Game of the Year should be about, or is about.
Now, Aiden, what do you think about this?
No, I do agree with like the sentiment that while it can be a very, very good game, I don't think it deserves to be on Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Simply because of that sense of like taking like Resident Evil 4 Remake, which basically overhauled the original story and made it so much better with new age graphics and like new things that can make the game better than it already was. It's a completely different ballpark than something like Lies of P that built itself from the ground up and then was stellar.
So I think that many remakes can be better than new games that are put out.
I agree.
100%. But it also, if we were to allow remakes to be put into the pool with everything else, it only incentivizes companies more to make those remakes more and more.
Yeah.
So if Game of the Year is solely new IPs, solely brand new games, that's incentivizing companies to push and make new, better content.
I also think like, and I think we all have the look of like it will go bad, and that's why it sucks. Is like we've seen companies take advantage of that, and that's why this is where it's like it's a tentative like no, you shouldn't do that. But like, would I love to see a Twilight Princess remake?
Absolutely.
Like, yes, of course.
I need
would.
it in my life right now.
But like, yeah, it really does incentivize companies to try to make like remake stuff, and like. Yeah, I think you can make some banger games, but that's the thing. There have been banger games in the past, and I think that's awesome. I'd love to go back and play some of these banger games again. That's great. I want something fucking new. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. I'm looking at you.
Hey, Mario Bros. Wonder. Why? Look at Mario Bros. Wonder. Just ignore the fact that
its
other big releases, Mario RPG. Look at Mario Bros.
Actually,
Wonder.
No, I would argue like they did really well. I would say like
Mario
but
Bros.
it's another
Wonder
2D Mario game. But in the same sense, like what I've seen about that game,
it's another 2D Mario game. You can infinitely jump with one of the basic powers.
That's like, but that's not something they were focusing on. I don't think
it's super cool.
But like, was Nintendo like, yes, I would like infinite jump?
I think that infinite jumps would be pretty cool.
Actually,
well, it's for like speedrunners and stuff.
They pulled the Legend of Zelda and went, well, they'll fuck with our game. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, seriously, let's add in a BTB on purpose.
All right. Are we?
Yeah.
Is that?
I think that's about it. But I think before we go, do we want to talk about some nerdy news?
Yes. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hey,
that's where I want to be.
Okay, I want to talk about this a lot because I have a lot of.
Not a lot.
How about
not a lot.
Let's try a little.
So starting at the beginning, the lore starts with.
The lore is so good up to like fucking
VR
past 4,
dude,
and then it just.
Dude, no, Scott Cawthon.
And that's it.
Scott Cawthon made a game. Fucking Matt Pat made a world.
No,
I have
so real. Honestly, he added a couple little Easter eggs to like, oh, it's like, ooh, spooky. There's like kids inside of the animatronics or something. And then
Matt Pat was like,
the signs.
Matt Pat was like, here, Scott, I got you. Here's your story. And Scott was like, sure, let's go with that.
You know what's funny as fuck is look at the original Five Nights at Freddy's game.
It's in 600 by 800 resolution.
This is supposed to be Scott Cawthon's last game he ever made was Five Nights at Freddy's, the original. And it's dog shit.
It is dog shit.
It is dog ass.
It's so bad.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Watching
the charm though.
Motherfucker, it is unchangeable from 800 by 600 resolution. I don't know what that means. It's a fucking square.
That is what.
It's a stretch res square.
That is the first. When that game released was the first time I watched the King himself. That is the first time I watched. That's the first time I watched Mark
sad
playing.
That he was actually supposed to be in the movie.
I know.
I think my first.
Same with Matt Pat. Matt Pat was supposed to be in it too.
He is in it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's like. But that's just a theory.
He does say it.
That's a spoiler,
okay.
guys.
Matt Pat already made a video about it.
Oh, that's true. But like,
I want to talk. I actually want to talk about my criticisms.
We out loud fucking because I said something while we were watching. I was like, dude, we
weren't like actually paying attention at the point that he came in because like we were all kind of like losing interest, like listening, half listening. And then Ethan points out, wait, is that Matt Pat? Is that Matt Pat?
Everybody.
And then everyone stops and we look and he looks at the guy and says, "That's only just a theory."
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if in the theater there were multiple theaters around the world where people stood up and started clapping for that.
Oh no, there's videos of it.
Yeah. Okay.
There's videos of it.
So wait, you two went together?
No, we watched it. It's on Peacock.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, I cannot that just speaks to volumes to the impact of like social media and stuff. That's crazy.
No, like Matt Pat did a whole deep dive into the behind the scenes stuff. Apparently they were like every actor, it was like talking to Matt Pat, being like, is my character accurate to the lore? Like, because all they knew about him was that he was the lore guy. And it's like, is my character accurate to the lore?
Yeah.
Like, what can I be doing to make it better, closer to the lore? Like the evil aunt specifically walked up to him and said, what can I do to make my character better from the lore? And he had to tell her like, she doesn't exist.
She's not real. Oh, because all of the people in his scene didn't exist in any of the games. They were like just made for.
They were
the
movie.
Oh,
but
it's awful. It's
on to the actual criticism.
He's like, yeah, they don't. You're not real.
you're not.
Wake up!
On to the actual criticisms.
2 minutes. You got 2 minutes, big guy.
On to the actual criticisms. It was a mid movie. It was a very mid movie that tried to do too many things and change from what it actually was supposed to be. I give it a 7 out of 10 simply because as my little like FNAF heart was watching this movie, I pointed
Mr.
out
Living
like
Tombstone.
Every fucking they had so many Easter eggs. So many Easter eggs to all the different like little FNAF nodes. Nodes, like whatever.
It also was funny him pointing like I don't like people who do the whole oh my god that but like he was doing it I was like yes because it was like it was really fucking it was like cool.
In the background of one of the scenes Sparky was there.
Cool.
You remember the creepypasta of Sparky?
Mm-hmm.
That it was in one of the background scenes or what was another one? Fucking I can't remember any. Dream Theory. The whole point is that the Mike Schmidt, the guy who the Zathura guy,
Jake Hutchinson.
Yeah, Jake Hutchinson was reading Dream Theory, which is another prominent theory from
but it's all
from FNAF,
a dream.
like old back in the day, and that like stuff like that just made me like giddy. But that was the only thing that elevated it out of a 5 out of 10 movie. They changed everything. They made it PG-13 and a feel-good movie.
It really needed to be that's a lot of the criticisms I've heard.
And I'm not even talking about like Saw R. Like you don't need violence and gore, but if they used that
I'm looking for
R rating,
it would have made it so much scarier.
If they used that R rating in a proper way,
they could have had him. They could have had him say the F word. They could have had him say fuck.
I don't need my gore in these movies. I just need some fucking fucks. I just need.
Well, actually, did you know? According to
PG-13 guidelines, you can have one singular fuck. Thank you, David.
No, but like,
you guys are the worst.
Okay. Getting into one single spoiler of a scene.
Don't.
No.
Why?
Some people haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it.
I have not seen it.
I haven't seen it. I
No,
want to see
no
it.
spoilers.
87?
No.
No spoilers.
They don't show it.
It's not real.
Also,
Bite of 87?
There is some really good things about the movie, but it ended up being like... I understood it because...
I saw what they were trying to go for, but they didn't turn up the creep factor enough.
There was no way that any of the executives that were going to okay this movie would have allowed an R-rated because the audience is children. They are going to ask their parents to go see this movie, whether or not it says R-rated. Like a lot of stupid parents will just walk in, and that would have just created hate and like all kinds of stuff. And so keeping it PG-13 probably boosted revenue by a lot.
Absolutely. Also, can we just mention how fucking crazy it is? You know, we hear about these things every once in a while, like video games going to turn into a movie, the Minecraft movie, the Terraria movie. These things have been talked about. Like, they are going to make these things. They haven't.
No,
these things.
Scott has been talking about this for probably 5 years, and he did it.
And
I remember it was a joke. I thought it was like some people were lying about
it. Was originally, and then it's continued to grow, and he was just like, "Shit, I gotta do this now."
Dude, that's crazy. But yeah, guys, I think that's about time to wrap it up.
I don't.
Oh, we already talked about that. Overwatch new characters.
Don't care.
No, don't care. Didn't ask.
Dude,
Overwatch sucks. Fuck Overwatch. Fuck Blizzard. Fuck Blizzard.
It's funny as
fuck Blizzard.
He has domain expansion.
Fuck Blizzard. Fuck Overwatch.
So his new thing is he's Moaga or whatever. He's like this villain that's been in Overwatch for a while. He's got 2 machine guns, and his ultimate, he puts it down and it traps everybody near him, and they can't get in or out. No one can get.
Dude, you sound. You know what you sound like right now?
The joke is that
you sound like you're talking about a new Marvel comic they just released, like the actual book. Like you sound like, did you know that he has 2 machine guns and his domain, he like expands his domain.
Guys,
people can't escape his like attack.
Okay, bye guys.
She-Hulk season 2 went really, really good. It was so good.
We're gonna get copyrighted, dog.
Goodbye, everyone.
Ow.
Okay, adios, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Have a fantastic night.